Yeah, what's going on with GLMD? This has kind of always been a scam company. So what is Capri? CPRI? They have a chief sustainability officer. That's already a red flag. Is this 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗡, basically? Was this 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗡? Jimmy Choo. Versace, is them? And they're going to be acquired by Coach, which is Tapestry. $4 billion in revenue. And they do own Versace. Cool. Looks like 4 billion market cap. Right? 117 million shares outstanding. Probably closer to 5. $40 a share. It's like 4.5 B. I'll take a look at the debt in a second. Cash and debt are not too far apart. Oh, actually, maybe another billion. So call it 5 billion. 5 billion enterprise value. Versace. 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗡 is bigger than Versace. That would be kind of surprising, right? Then revenue's declining. That's interesting. Versace is unprofitable. Wow. They announced the deal a year ago. Lawsuit started in April. It's a typical time to resolution there. That's interesting. So $57 target price, very far away from here. 50% upside if the merger closes. It's got to be like a 50-50. So already you've got good value there. Now, the problem is what happens on the downside. You're paying 5 times sales for a company that's not growing. This is the lawsuit? Yeah. Where is the acquisition? Here? No. Here? Yeah. Maybe here. Imagine buying up here. Oof. You got to check out the holders list. It's always fun to see the carnage. Pentwater. Who's Pentwater again? They merger arb fund. Hap Trading. Never heard of these guys either. Man, I don't know these guys. Pentwater's like some Midwest long only, right? Oh no, event driven. Matt Halbauer. I never heard of you. I used to smack guys like you just for coming around my way. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's a lovely guy. I'm doing a Dave Chappelle impression. I don't know if you guys have seen that skit.
You the man. Give me some skin, huh?
So yeah, that's what I pictured with Matt. He looks like a very... Yeah, Intel eventually will make a comeback, man. Even if they just focus on CPUs. Okay, he was at Citadel, huh? Citadel and Deep Haven. Yeah, it's probably some charity, Invest for Kids. But I do have a secret spreadsheet if you guys want to check it out. It's on my GitHub. I actually have to update it. So this is basically a spreadsheet of all the hedge funds. And it's got their employee names. It's got all kinds of stuff. And on Godel, you'll soon be able to get phone numbers and contact information for all of the employees in the hedge fund, mutual fund, Wall Street world. Yeah, there'll be a lot more Dr. Guptas out there soon, for sure. So here's the list. This is a list of every hedge fund ranked by like AUM. Pentwater is not up here, but now I'm gonna add them. And I maintain this database just for you guys, for free. Now let me show you how to look up all those details. So I go to Pentwater. It's probably under this one. You learn over time where everything's filed under. I was right. List here. And I also have a lot of inside baseball where I know people involved. Oh, he's in Chicago. $7 billion fund, pretty big. And the reason this is interesting is he's a merger arb guy betting on this deal closing. This is what he does for a living. So he's got more equity exposure than even Soros' fund. And let's look at his portfolio a little. Looking for his bigger positions. There's the ANSYS merger arb deal. It's got a lot of puts and calls, which I typically exclude. I've got a little program on my GitHub that excludes those, so I think his fund is probably a little smaller. He's got a huge position in Hess, but he also has puts in Hess. HubSpot he's trading, so every merger deal he's basically in, one way or another. And for Capri, you can see he owns stock and he owns puts. He might even be bearish, given how many puts he owns. It all depends. But typically you don't buy the stock if you're bearish, but possible. So it's got a complex trade on, most likely. So yeah, later this week or next week, if you wanted to call this guy, obviously there's no guarantee he's going to pick up, but you could basically just type in the terminal, just like Bloomberg, you type Matt, type his name, Matt. Oh. It wants me to do Matterport. It's kind of funny. But you can type a name and you'll see a bio pop up. So that is something that Bloomberg has that very few other platforms, if basically no other platforms have that. So we're really excited to launch that in the next, roll it out over the next few months, but launch that beginning of it at least next week. So this is the Godel platform I've created. I hope you guys subscribe and get that kind of value. But this spreadsheet is free, kind of my database of hedge funds. It's not complete at all because I personally maintain it, but let's see who else. So he's the number 2 stockholder of Capri. Let's see who this guy Hap Trading is. Never heard of that either. There's a lot of like Susquehanna and Jane Street wannabes out there. Godel has a free. Actually, Godel does have a free tier. Let's see, Hap Trading or Hap Capital. Okay, here's Hap Capital or Hap Trading. Or HAP. It's probably not called Hap. People probably call it that anyway. Okay, about $1 billion. Respectable. These days, kind of small. If you're a quant fund with only $1 billion, like maybe you're doing something wrong. I don't know. Linear regression. Simple ML. George Weiss is gone. I was gonna put all the old like basically closed down funds. So here's what else? Pequot, Odyssey, really old fund. Black Diamond, does anyone remember those? No, it was called, what was it called? The SAC spin out. Larry Stepansky, his fund. Oh, he's got a new fund apparently. Diamondback, there we go. What about Shumway? Other Tiger Cubs that closed down. Blue Ridge. What other huge hedge funds closed? Remember Atticus? They made a big splash. How about that fund that blew up? Amaranth. Visium. So many hedge funds have closed down. Galleon, probably the king of the closed down hedge funds. Tiger, Original Tiger, sure. Original Tiger. What about any other Cubs? I guess what's his name's fund is closing? Matrix. Yeah, I put Galleon down. Major hedge funds who have closed. Alameda. True. Let me ask Google. I mean, technically SAC closed and reopened, but I suppose SAC. Archegos, kind of, yeah. LTCM. Renaissance is still open. There's a little fund called Madoff. Yeah, George Weiss I put down already. I never heard of Leviathan. Who's that? Oh, Platinum. I'm not saying just like bad closings. I'm talking about regular old closings too. Melvin, Kinnikos. There's so many guys. How about that dude's fund, John Arnold's fund, Centaurus? Youngest billionaire in the US. Oh yeah, Eden Park, remember that? Eden Park was a crazy fund. These funds had nothing to do with the success. Yeah, hedge funds are useless. They provide no value to society. They're just, hoping to make money for their clients. Provide value to their clients and to their founders. But it used to be that if you were like really elite, really smart, you wanted to make a ton of money, hedge funds was a great way to do it. Tech startups kind of came along, and something about all these guys that is eerily the same that I can't really put my head around. They're here in New York. All right, let me look at some more stocks. Getting bogged down here. Yeah, I don't know what the FTC's case is going to be. I mean, and I do think you got to value like we try to value the company, assuming there's no merger, would you make money? Okay, somebody wants me to look at something called SOUN soon. Oh, SoundHound. This is really important because these guys are a rival of ours. I really have to look at them. So, SoundHound AI, SOUN. I don't know if maybe levered ETFs are okay for the long run if you have a really solid view, a really solid specific view of a market. As you guys may know, I'm not a big believer in this whole idea that the market will always go up and that, you can trust on the stock market to always give you return. So if you're thinking that, I wouldn't, that's not the way I like to think. But if you have a trade you want to make, most ETFs are not going to go down 90% or 50%. So you're kind of safe to make the bet like that. But the problem is you can get that leverage from your broker anyway. So let's say you wanted SPY, will your broker leverage you levered ETFs? I don't think so. So you should, yeah, markets can go down, and if they could go down and stay down for a while, you'd be pretty upset. Get sick of the stock market. It happens all the time. I've been hanging out with Nibbles too much. My mom came over yesterday. It was always good to see Mama Love. Mom likes Nibbles too. This is interesting, right? This is what it takes to be public. This is a really small software company. And they do something a little bit similar to what one of my companies does. Well, literally the company I work at. It's not an AI scam. Wow. Wow, Oscar. You are some guy. What kind of guy are you? It's a publicly traded company. It's got a 2 billion market cap. You don't like it, short it. 50% revenue growth. No, Sav is not squeezing me. Dude, I don't think you know who I am. You gotta look into Martin Shkreli, bro. You think you can short squeeze Martin Shkreli? When I call your stock a short, it's over. Make funeral arrangements. It's time to make the funeral arrangements. It's over. That's like going to an oncologist and he says, unfortunately you have metastatic colorectal carcinoma with distant metastases to the brain, liver, lungs, and rectum. Your prognosis is grim. There are almost no treatments for this, no molecular signatures we can take advantage of. We expect these tumors to grow rapidly. And you're sitting there saying, I still have a chance. Nah, dog, it's over. It's over. Wrap it up. When I'm shorting your stock, just call it a day, bro. Get your affairs in order. That's it. Yeah, this company has quite the valuation because the AI boom. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I'm not saying it's cheap or attractive, but it actually does seem like kind of a good short. And I have a competing product. I don't quite have the revenue they have, but I do have a competing product myself with much, much lower prices. So I'm not sure. Oh, not even including another expense. G&A, Jesus. I missed the whole expense line. Imagine having 13 in revenue and generating 22 in losses. Well, it's a good short. It's not that it's a scam, it's just a bad business. 50% revenue growth is... Scam means fraud, right? Scam is... Oh, you gotta get a better broker. You have one broker? Bruh. You have one broker? You call yourself a trader? You need about 10, 20 brokers, dog. I don't like Cursor, actually. I don't think it was that good. I like GPT-O. Huge cost structure, kind of crazy cost structure. But the revenue growth is there for now. Oh, NVIDIA invested? Most SPACs have like 1 employee. But yeah, I mean, the revenue growth is certainly in the right direction. I mean, it's, I know this space really well. I mean, they can grow into something, but the P&L, I mean, again, with their financials, I mean, they just have a gigantic cost structure that's a little silly. I mean, what are they spending on that G&A? You got a $40 million a year general administrative. It's not a complicated company. It's like big Q4. I don't know why their Q4 would be so big. Yeah, it looks like a short to me. And if they can keep breaking out revenue with 50 to 100% growth, sure, maybe. 1.6 billion is a lot for 55 run rate. 29 times sales. Somebody said, what one biopharma I would buy for the next 10 years? That's tricky. DJT, Match, Bumble, TVTX, the company I started. MBGYY, what is that? Oh, Mercedes-Benz, that's a German, that's a US ADR